The Imokilly Motor Club returned to a swept sweep to host round 6 of the Naylor Engineering National Hillclimb and Sprint Championship 2017. There was a great Waterford welcome for spectators at the top of the hill. In need of a cuppa was Peter McKinley, but despite the late nights fitting the engine, in addition to jet lag, he found himself and the escort fit for a fight with Seamus Morris. Both drivers took chunks of time on each run. The Darien driver kept himself in the top 10, while Peter reached 9th, the fastest car with a roof. John Donnelly in the Reynard SF80 was mixing it with the fellow super single-seater class drivers Billy White and Gary Egan in their Formula Renault. Gary was best of the duo by just 1400ths this time. Russell Stanworth held him at bay by almost a full second with the red top-engined Reynard Opel Lotus, 4th in Libre Class 7. Rory Stevens, second in the championship at the moment, found himself in a battle with Frank Burns. Rory in the Radical SR8 led after run 1 and 2. The former multiple champ Frank making a very welcome return in the V8 Pilbeam MP45. We spoke to him in the morning.
Frank Burns, multiple hill climb champion. Welcome back to the Irish hill climb scene. We have you back here in Dungarvan again.
Yeah, it's great to be back. It's been a while, as you said, and I enjoyed yesterday. Great welcome, which is great. I don't know where I am speed-wise. I don't know where I am everything else. But what I'm concerned about is the level of banter hasn't changed, and that's good. That's good. So it's usual. I give as good as I take. I'm looking forward to a good run today.
So back in the years you had the Opel engine Reynard, wasn't it?
That's the ex-Porrick Ford Reynard I bought in 2001, and this is the first hill that I drove that car on. I had that won the championship in 2001 and 2002, and then 2006 I swapped in the middle of the year, went from the Reynard to the Pilbeam.
And was it here that you tried that for the first time?
Rather if you didn't ask that question now. Yes, I did. Yeah. I did try it for the first time, and then I went home that night and changed cars.
I remember that, and I know why you're not saying.
Yeah, because O'Connell will remind me of a bit of monkey tree business, sort of,
So this is a V8?
Yeah, it's a 1980 car. It's a Formula 3. It's an MP45, and it's got a 5.1 litre V8, and it's John Eales V8. So it's it's big time.
And is it kind of a point and shoot sort of car, or did you find it does the corner well too?
It corners well, but it's not as nimble as the Reynard was. It's a much bigger lump of beast of a car, but it squirts. It goes, Yeah, it goes.
Yeah, it must be great to have that rumble behind you.
It does, of course. Yeah, it just blows chicken chinchos and stuff out of the way.
It swallows them every now and again.
Swallows them, exactly. Yeah, it spits them out.
Very good. You've recently been involved in backing the Marshall incentive. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Marshals are critical to our sport. We can't do it without them, and it's to get marshals. A repeat marshal, right? So marshals have more experience. As marshals are critical, they're for our safety. So we want to push that as much as we can to get marshals to come back and do more events with us.
Yeah, and it's even just simple things like making sure they know about the timing and stuff like that, so they actually know what's going on in the event that they're marshalling at, and making them feel a part of it. These things are important too.
Very much so, because they're very isolated, and it's a tough job. It's a hard day, right? And they're enthusiasts. They love the sport, obviously, but they need to be very much more a part of it. Training is important, but involvement and in the whole event is important as well. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to get involved with it, because to support it, and I was happy to do so.
On the final run, Burns made the Pilbeam Supreme V8 with a beastly 66.6 second run for 3rd overall. With Robert Wan being such a contender, you could almost forget that he's only on his 3rd weekend in the car. His final time on this round would have won the previous day, but by now Joe Courtney was over a second and a half quicker again for a steady win.
Joe Courtney, the weekend has gone very well for you again there.
Yeah, pretty good now. Had a win yesterday, about a second in it between me and Robert, in tricky conditions. Have about a 2.2 second lead there at the minute, I think, so it's never over till the last run. But yeah, overall a good weekend, and
It was an important one for you to get the good result with a couple of narrower hill climbs coming up in the future.
Yeah, that's it. Every hill has different challenges, and as you said, the championship is tipping away now, so it's coming kind of around the crucial point where there's only a certain amount of events left to get points. But that's the goal, is to win here. Win all the events really is the goal, ultimately. But at the end of the day, you're kind of going to push as hard as you need to push, and it's bumpy enough up there, so there is more time in it. But you're leaving a little room for a bit of gravel or something on the road, because on a hill like this with the surface the way it is, it can change a little bit and you need to adapt a little bit. So there's always more time in it. But I'm looking forward to the next few hills now. Alright, there might be a different challenge.
There was a bumper entry of 16 cars in 2 litre Rally Class 8. Jason Ryan won in his Civic, despite Garrod Lyons narrowing the gap significantly on run 3 in another Honda. Richard Harney used all the road to take third in a Mark II Escort. Class 3C is the newly introduced for 2017 sports car class. We've had just 2 competitors take part so far this year, but both Gary Cunningham and Paul O'Connell have proved their ability to score top 5 results in the cars. The class can also take big engine silhouette vehicles. Paul won the class with 4th overall at round 5, but sat out round 6, and Gary took the award. Tommy Gardner took his 2nd win in the 1600 saloon class this season from Brian Ledwith. Brian had won the first 2 rounds of the season in Clare with his Corolla.
Brian Ledwith, you're competing in Class 2 with your twin cam, but it's a twin cam with quite an unusual engine. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, it's a Formula Atlantic engine, 1600 Atlantic engine, used in the American Formula series. Kind of similar to the BDA Atlantic engine of the European Championship. So it's 12-to-1 compression to the regulations of the Atlantic engines. Quite a high duration camshafts and about 320 degree camshafts. So she has kind of very high end horsepower, but probably very little torque down low. So she can be a bit of a handful to drive.
So it's originally a single-seater's engine.
That's exactly it, yeah. So not probably ideally suited for a saloon car, but we're making good use of it at the moment to kind of pull us up the hills.
So where did you source something like that?
Well, I got a lot of the parts from America. So it's a steel TRD crank, TRD Kriller rods, TRD pistons and valve springs, all American sourced.
And so where would that put you power-wise against more conventional setups in a twin cam?
Yeah, I mean the power's quite high, but the RPM is quite high. But you're talking, it's 200 horsepower at the wheels, so roughly 245 or thereabouts, at the flywheel if you kind of converted it, But they're promoted as 249 or 250 horsepower engines, so. Depending on the atmosphere, you can get close to that.
And I suppose if you can get the weight down in the shell, all the better.
That's right, yeah. At the moment, the car was built for rallying and it was built for strength. Unfortunately, it's not the lightest of a hill climb car, so it's pulling in 950 kgs at the moment. So I suppose in terms of hill climbs, there's a lot of cars here to be 100 kgs lighter than it.
Yeah.
But that's probably the downfall of it at the moment.
Brian, explain this bungee cord to me.
Yeah, so Senna, this is a special component from Demon Tweaks that we got for enabling us to leave the car unattended on a hill.
So that's you have a fly-off handbrake, and this is your way of locking it in position.
This is my unconventional way of holding the car, holding the handbrake on. Yes.
Top class preparation.
Thanks, Senna.
Dara Fay managed to split Tommy and Brian with the Suzuki Swift, winning the Bantam Saloon Class 1. Mike Ward collected the prize for Class 3A in his Raw Striker. John Whitley took another maximum points in the Formula Ford and V Class 5. Mick O'Shea was fastest in the Historics on Scratch, enjoying close competition with former class rival Seamus Anderson in the Rally Spec Ford Anglia, which finished just ahead of the MG. It looks like Jack Deegan has been reshelling again, winning the up to 3 litre Rally Class 9. Danny Hurley is going to have to dig deeper if he's to catch Damien Walsh in the Cento Challenge this year. Damien won again here, but Danny has that useful first win in Clare, which could help break a tie if it's that close at the end of the year. Colin Clinton scored his first finish in his immaculate black Seicento. The championship moves to Carlow for rounds 7 and 8 in July.